Song number two right there, and another interesting ending for our second song. Let's take it straight to the panelist, Tom Chianti out of New York City. Tom, your thoughts on number two?
Well, I'm glad this one landed to me first. This I liked very much. The female singer has a very unique voice. She should have been louder. I think what the engineer tried to do is place it in the mix instead of on top of the mix. There's a lot of things you can do to get the vocal heard more. I think she should have been on top of the mix. The production was there. The background vocals are spot on. The guitars, they were on the verge of getting a little too full, but they pulled back enough. And I'd say this thing is, ready to go, really, because it's her voice is what's really selling the song. It is, she's either very well trained or well practiced at singing a lot. And a little bit of a Cyndi Lauper comes in and out to mind. But yeah, I liked it very, very much. And if I had millions of dollars, I'd sign them.
Well, maybe one day you'll have millions of dollars and sign them then.
Well, when I have millions of dollars, I'll be too busy spending it in Hawaii.
Good point. Good point. Jon Hodgson. Jon, your thoughts on number two?
Well, for me, this was almost like three different songs, two which I liked and one which I didn't. It started off with that bit of nylon string guitar at the beginning, which was very nice, apart from the fact there's a huge amount of noise on there. But then it switched, into something that just didn't seem to match that at all to me when it went into the song proper. But still nice. I liked the whole arrangement. I'll agree in that point the vocals could have been placed more prominently. They were losing them a bit, possibly because her voice sort of matches up with the frequencies of the guitars that they've got there. So that bit, as a song, I like that part, even if the mix wasn't perfect. Then it went into the chorus, and the chorus to me just was not anywhere near as good as the verses were. It seemed like a different song. It seemed less original and less good to my ears. Though conversely, the vocals seemed to be a bit clearer, so they seemed to mix that part better, as far as I could tell. That's about it, really. I don't really have anything else to say in terms of the production. These guys can do it better than I can. But as far as songwriting and arrangement goes, that's my main thing. It's the chorus is not nearly as strong as the verse.
All right, I appreciate it, Jon. As always, your thoughts are interesting to hear. I love listening to all our panelists give their thoughts. Let's go to Ian, find out what he thinks on this one. Ian?
I think you're sucking up to our guest panelist personally, but that's not the story. First thing that I've written is exactly the same as Jon. Lots of hiss on that intro, and like that. It's quite simple to clean up things like that, and they should take that time to do so on that. But overall, what a great song! I loved the rhythm percussion that was going on. It sounded like the drummer was playing the radiator and the hardware rather than the drums and the cymbals itself. Really, really liked that. And I loved the dynamic feel in the song, the ups and the downs it had, and then the power it came in when the chorus kicked in. Really, there's some great playing, some great performances. It was a very hooky song. I didn't mind the fact that it could have been three songs in one. I actually liked that. It took me somewhere. It kept it interesting. Didn't keep it boring. It was an obvious chord structure, but a simple one which kept it listenable. I'm a big fan of simple music, and not saying that the composition as a whole was simple, but the sort of chord patterns they were playing were quite simple, and that made it nice and easy to listen to. I like that. Her voice was quirky. It was, I think Tom hit it on the head with Cyndi Lauper. I was sitting there thinking, who does she sound like? And Tom, yeah, Cyndi Lauper for certain. My one biggest comment about the whole track was the bass. I felt the sound lacked clarity, and the performance lacked the groove that the rest of the song had. I was sitting there and I kept getting put off by something, and I couldn't work out what it was. And then suddenly it just struck me, and it all sort of broke down a little bit, that the bass just wasn't grooving as well. It was on time, but it wasn't grooving with the guitars and the vocals. It didn't pick up the feel properly. And as I said, it lacked clarity in the mix as well. But overall, what a great song. The other thing that I wanted to comment on was the backing vocal arrangement. I thought that was really nice, and a lot of time had gone into that, and it was really hooky as well.
All right, excellent, gentlemen.
If I may propose, I may propose one thing.
Sure.
You were right, Ian. You know, it's easy to get rid of that hiss, and that hiss was so blatant and obvious. I think that's what they wanted to. They made a bad production decision, and that's how they wanted the song to start for whatever reason. Maybe they had a video or something. I think it was a bad idea to start the song that way, because it's very easy, unless they sampled the record, and that's what you got.
Yeah, possibly. I see your point, but it didn't come over as an obvious production thing for me. It came over as laziness.
And I know for...
Oh, well, you're lazy too.
I wouldn't say I wasn't lazy, but it takes one to know who's being lazy, doesn't it, really?
I was going to say I was lazy, but you guys beat me to it. So here we go, gentlemen. Make your decisions. What should be Song of the Week this week?
More sense.
Who are you pointing at, Rick?
I'm pointing at all of you. Which ones do you guys think of the panelists?
I like number 2. That girl's vocal is enough to sell a record.
Ian?
I can't disagree with that, really. I mean, number 1 was really good, probably more my style of music to listen to, but on a strength of commerciality, mix, production, dynamics, number 2 nails it out of all 3. So yeah, number 2.
And John?
If we're going for which one you could sell more easily, I'd agree with song 2. I wouldn't buy it. That's the only thing. Because the reason I say I wouldn't buy it is it doesn't sound. It's not a single kind of song. It's something that you, if it was on an album perhaps, or on the radio, or as part of a program, it's. Yes, it does sound a bit like background music, but sometimes that's what I want. So of the 3, in terms of what I personally prefer, I would go for song 3. If you ask me which one would sell, I'd agree with the other guys on song 2.
So which of those 3 do you then select as the Song of the Week?
I'm going to go for number 3.
All right, so we have 2 selections for number 2 and 1 selection for number 3.
But you had to drag it out of him.
Yeah, well, it's sometimes that's the way it works. And
you got to love a democracy, really.
That's the truth. That's really true. And to let everybody know, in the Twitter poll, that song number 2 is what you think should be the Song of the Week as well. So there you have it. 3 against 1. Sounds to me like, gentlemen. So song number 2 is going to be it. Any comments on that? Ian, John, Tom?
I'm glad. I honestly think it was the best out of the 3.
Ian?
I think, overall this week we've seen a skip in the music again. Last week was a difficult week with the music that we had, and this week has sort of brought the shine back. We've had some really great songs, all in their own place. But, number 2 does stand out, so it deserves its place as Song of the Week.
John, final thoughts?
Final thoughts. The best parts of song 2 were the best parts of any of the songs tonight. I've given my reasons why I made that decision. It was on the overall thing. So I don't think it's a bad decision by people. I think democracy's won.